let's continue with the question 2.4. It's about genetics. We know that many students find challenges with genetics. Question 2.4 from National Senior Certificate 2022, NCS 2022. The diagram below shows the inheritance of flower color in snapdragon plants. The two alleles controlling the flower color are red and white. It means that because the two alleles are capital letter, this is a capital letter, and also this is a capital letter, it means that both of them are dominant. So if both of them are dominant, here it's showing us that you have a dominant red crossing with white, and it gives you pink. When you have red and you have white, we produce pink. So pink is neither red nor white, but is an intermediate between the two. So the type of dominance which is there, the moment you get an intermediate, neither of the parent color produced in the offspring, it means that that kind of dominance is called incomplete. It means that red is neither dominant over white and white is neither dominant over red. An example is different presidents of different countries. When they sit on one table, all of them, they will talk about issues affecting them equally. So it means that neither of the president of country A nor the president of country B is dominant over the other. Why? Both of them or all of them are presidents. So neither red nor white is dominant over the other. So when they combine, they produce an intermediate. So let's go to the questions and we see. They are saying that state the type of dominance shown by the snapdragon plants. So we have seen that it is incomplete dominance. If it was complete, then we would have got either red or white in the offsprings, or both red. Some of the organisms are red and some of them are white. That is complete. If it was codominance, we would have got a mixture of red and white. But now we get an intermediate, therefore it is incomplete dominance. Give a reason for your answer. The answer, we have explained it, that you produce an intermediate or an intermediate color was produced. A gardener crossed two pink flowers. Use the genetic cross to show the ratio that is expected of when you cross two pink flowers. So it means that if both of them are dominant, definitely this is going to be capital R, capital W, capital W. Yes, they produce one gamete from this side and one gamete from that side. So this one is going to produce a capital R. This one is going to produce a capital W. So it means that this crosses with this, you produce this. And RW is an intermediate of red and white, which is pink. So it means that when you're talking about the genotype of pink, we have to use this. So what are you supposed to write? Okay. We are saying that now, the first thing you need to do is you say, because it is a second generation we are crossing, therefore it is advisable to use P2. So it's going to be P2. You tell us the P means parent. So P2, parent 2, because we have already parent 1. So now pink and pink, it means that that's P2. Yes, if it's a second generation, we use P2. P2, yes, we can say F2, second Fourier generation. We mark this as ones, like, so we give you 1 tick there. So don't forget, if you write P2 or P1, F1, it must be, yes, it must be P2, F2, P1, F1. If you write 1, you don't write the other one, then you get it wrong. For example, P2 and don't write F2, you don't get a tick. So now P2, you tell us the phenotype. The phenotype is pink. We cross it with another pink flower. The X must be like this. It must not be like this. No, the X must be like this. Then you go to genotype. What's the genotype? We have seen the genotype here. That is capital W, capital R, or capital R, capital W. Therefore, we're going to have to say here, it is capital R, capital W, cross with capital R, capital W. Now, these must separate under meiosis. So you write the word meiosis. So meiosis, you form the gametes, capital R, capital W. Here, capital R, capital W. So we call these ones gametes. Gametes, don't leave these gametes naked. In most cases, I always tell my students not to leave these gametes naked. They're not at the beach. All right. We circle them. We circle them. We circle them. Even if you don't circle them, still you get a tick. But I prefer to circle them. Why? So that we can differentiate them from the genotype. And always know that there must be a space between these two gametes. Don't combine them, because when you combine them, then it will look like it is a genotype. There must be spaces there. All right. Now these gametes, they're supposed to fertilize each other. Don't use the word fission. We won't give you a tick. Fertilization. Fertilization, when fertilization occurs, you can use a Punnett square, or you can use crosses. Since it is a monohybrid cross, you can use crosses. For example, this goes with that. So I'm going to have capital R, capital R, and now this with that. So it's going to be capital R, capital W. Now this with that is going to be capital R, capital W. Then this with that. So it's going to be capital W, capital W. Yes. So this is what called fertilization. So these are the offsprings of the parents. So F1 offsprings. What are they? They said snapdragon. It means that those are the offsprings or the snapdragons. But what was the question? The question is saying, use the genetic cross to show the ratio of the expected phenotype in the offspring. So we are looking for the ratio of offspring. Okay, let's look at the ratio of the offspring. Now, capital R, it is red. So I have red, How many are they? It's 1, comma. I have capital R, capital W. It is pink. Capital R, capital W is pink. So I have 2 pink. And then now I have capital W. It's white. I have 1 white. So basically I have 1, 2, 2, 2, 1. So that is it. So now, when you are looking for a mark, when we mark, we are looking for ticks, and then sometimes we put what called a compulsory mark. So in case we come here, we do this, we do, yes, this and that, we give you a tick. Phenotype, we give you a tick, it must have a cross. Genotype, we give you a tick, it must have a cross here. If it doesn't have a cross, the tick might not be given to you. So we come to the gametes, we give you a tick, and then we have for crossing, and you get the offsprings, we give you a tick. So because the question is saying give the ratio, so this one might be a compulsory mark. It might be a compulsory mark. So we give a tick, but we put the word C there, which means that it's compulsory. There is 1 mark short, which is meiosis and fertilization. Give you a tick. So how many marks are there? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then in most cases, we give you 6 marks. And also sometimes cross, we can give you a tick there. So maybe we can say that this question is 6 marks. But how do we count? When you are counting, you first count this. However much you get all of them, like you have all of this. Without this now, for this case, you won't get 6. You have to be with all of them.